We got a 4v4 Thermo. It's a recent game. Let's see what happens. I haven't seen it, but it's going to be a pretty long one, so hopefully we see good action. So on this team we got King Damien as UEF up front, Roxanne Samson as a Cybern. One side we got Aeon as Jer, and Turbo Turtle in the back. We see all four factions represented here. And similar on this team, Cybern, we got Robo Danny, Dom T16, expecting good things for him in this style of game. This is X1. Coco is Aeon, and Werner Valhall is running up with the UEF. I seem to have turned back and then turned back again. See a very early scout here from Zir, or Zir, however you want to say that. So Z. We already see some plans for both teams for the middle. Some PDs, very conservative PDs here from King Damien. We see 3 ACUs already going up. This is 230, and also 3 ACUs going up. It looks like actually a Turbo Turtle and a Coco are both going up. So we're going to see 4 ACUs from both teams. See a Hunter here, not being aggressive, could probably take out the Scout. That is not the case. So the rules, standard rules for Thermo: you cannot go on these hills. You got to stay in this gap. Might get a little congested later on. And really, if you can capture the middle here, capture control over the middle, you can start launching tactical missiles directly at the bases. Quite a few mass extractors, more than 10 mass extractors per player, plus a hydro, so good fast ecos. Working together, people can get out experimental in a little over 10 minutes. Now we see some PDs. We see good teamwork, getting the UEF commander to T2, who goes directly to T2 PD, which will be able to shoot across to take out the ACUs. On the other side we see Zir being upgraded as well. So Aeon and UEF by far the best choices for PDs. In this case they both shoot at an arch. We can see that here, and all these little bumps are not a nuisance for Cybern. The PDs start hitting these bumps. We already see some the Aeon ACU going up. So we see this team here seems to know what they're doing. So UEF and Aeon commanders go on T2. Probably go with Cyber next for the shield. We see a TMD, UEF TMD. A stealth field, also a very good thing to build in the middle. And it appears that Turtle has run away, which is not clear why. No more T1 PD. That was taken out by T2 PD, and this could be trouble for the bottom team here. A few T1 PD would definitely take care of this. Of course, 3 ACUs shouldn't have too much trouble with T1. So at this point, definitely the team here from Dome T16 is having the upper hand. See both stealth, a shield, and perhaps now Coco going to T3. We're mid at 7 now. See maybe both Robo and Coco going to T3 simultaneously. We see some T2 PDs here from King Damien. It's gonna stop the advance of the right side team. You can see it's actually quite even. Looks like Dome 16 team are just slightly ahead. The shield gets knocked down. This is a good T2 spam here. Looks like this team went to T3 a little early. Nice placement of stealth. Now we see the Aeon PD also shooting at an arch. A lot of damage per shot. And the Seraphim shield, definitely a very good choice for shield. Like Coco here is at T3 ACU. Now you can see how quickly he's able to build his PDs. Best combination of shield and PD in this case. And somehow we see Damien and Zerk here able to stay alive just for a little while. Looks like these three Aeon shields are doing a good job. More shields for this right side team. Only 2 shields, now we're getting a third. This will be a heavy shield if it doesn't get taken out. And all these PDs have been taken out, so UEF definitely many more shields. UEF PD is getting the better of the right side team here. See a plan for a spider. Minute 12 here. A very tough battle for the middle. You can see it's a very massive amount of PDs. You get a better view this way. And now if King Damien goes T3, doesn't look like he will. You can get some Ravagers up and push this other team even further back. The monkey here is getting built by 2 different players. Coco now is also building. You can see how quickly the monkey's being built. We also see Ravagers. Be a nice counter to this push. See some T2 power generators being built. Some mobile shields. On the other side you see some pretty major plans here. So one ACU that's missing from this fight is sitting here at Turtle. Actually making T3 mass fabricators, which is very strange. Now see the spider is actually not moving in. It would be a bit of a suicide against all that PD that's shielded in ACUs. But nice, the spider is stealthed, so it's able to use its long range weapon to try to put down these shields. Really T3 PD or a GC here is almost halfway done. It's the best thing to do in this case. Actually both ACUs, all ACUs have left this middle base. They know that they're likely to die with 2 different experimentals. And King Damien making a nice group of Ravagers. We also see some bricks moving in. There's some of the strongest T3 units, as well as a spider being built here by Brock Sampson. And now the GC has been completed. The bottom team here being very careful. Can send these 2 experimentals in, but they will go for the fat boy. We're coming up on minute 19. We see yet another shield. It's a very safe gameplay. Could probably run these guys over. A nice group of Ravagers. Sometimes it's nice to spread these so their experimentals don't kill them all, especially against chickens. A single one chicken shot in here could take out quite a few of these. Not clear how a fat boy would be countered by the top team. We just might get to see this. But always a good strat to keep 2 experimentals like a GC and a spider in front of a fatty, and then just fire away with a fatty. We do see a GC more than halfway done. Spider that's completed. Now the fatty is almost completed as well. All these T2 PDs are slowly getting taken out. Now lots of at least 2 T3 shields here, a bunch of Ravagers, nice use of A and TMD, and a bunch of ACUs. So still, even with 3 experimentals, and now the fatty is going to start moving in. can see the range on this unit. And now 3 experimentals are moving in. You can see the Ravagers. The spider bot should be very careful. There's no reason to go in with the spider bot. Just use the fatty. If the fatty keeps on moving forward for some reason, there's absolutely no reason for that fatty to have died right there. Could have stayed back with the spider and the GC. A very nice gift. Send down a few drones or NGs to reclaim this. Now we see 2 GCs and a spider, and another GC is in plans. We're minute 23. And on this team we see GC, Ravagers, and spider. Looks like Turbo Turtle has the top score. He's already at plus 200 mass. It's the result of making these T3 mass fabricators. It's going to be a nice chunk of hives for the building capacity. And now we see some NGs moving up. Try to claim this fatty, but they're going to get taken out. That's a very big overkill. T1 NG versus a nice group of Ravagers. No chance for that NG. We begin seeing a whole bunch of T3. Some chickens. Chickens are more of a defensive unit in this case. You don't want a dead chicken next to your other experimentals. Really a GC spam would be the way to go in this case. Or going straight to T3 PD. Appears we're seeing some artillery. Yes, Damien is making some artillery. It's just a little, just to harass the other team. It would take quite a few pieces to cause any kind of damage. So 2 chickens for this right side here. And now we see a lot of not clear why these are still being built. This is a whole bunch of mass, 75 each, and not a lot of power given that he already has some T2. We see an anti-nuke, so it appears that this is a nuke allowed game. These were all GCs here, all 5 GCs. The right side team here could be thinking about moving up, but with these chickens, a single one of these chickens getting taken out by the Ravagers, it would start killing its own units after death. You see a megalith starting to be built. Quite a few T3 power generators. Now Werner getting some kennels. Interesting, many people using stealth. Coming up on minute 30 now. And now we see a fatty from Turbo Turtle. It's going to be a nice deterrent to the other fat boy. So with these fatties, it's all about micro and using shields. Using mobile shields along with a fatty is a very good choice. We also have the Mego, has pretty good range and a lot of health. To start trying to snipe the other team. Interesting that we do not see anybody spamming tactical missiles. Usually we see a group of 20 tactical missiles trying to snipe the other team. ACUs or fat boys are always good targets. And now we see the fat boy from the other team. It's going to provoke a reaction. We see a whole bunch of chickens, 4 GCs, a mega. So really the target for these Ravagers should be the chickens. This is what we will likely see. The chickens will begin to die and begin to kill their own units. This will be a lot of mass for the left side team. You see the mega. Really a self-check on this play. And good micro from the fatty. Did a lot of damage just walking away. As well as some GCs. Do not want to lose this area, and actually we see a Jur with his ACU running away. Surviving. See a nice Ravager spam here from King Damien. There's about 200k mass in here. We should see NGs following up. Good play from Robo Danny. Gotta capitalize on these situations. And now we see multiple fatties here. Should be able to counter the fat boy here. The mega is really the big problem. If the mega is used correctly here. Great to see these NGs from Dome as well. Damien actually going down in health on the ACU. Runs away. This is quite amazing. A very close call for Damien, going down to 6k health, but survives. And now we see the NGs pouncing on this opportunity. This loyalist should be pushing much further. Gotta kill these NGs. This should be the mass for the left side team. Now we see a mega coming in. See the loyalist trying to break through the shields. Great use of shields and NGs. See, these players have played this type of game before. They know what to do. Now mega is gonna come in to try to claim this mass. Might see some mega on mega love here. And more GCs. Definitely the experimental spam has been better from the right side. The chickens were really the things that sabotaged the attack. See some more Ravagers. 2 anti-nukes here. It's taking up quite a bit of build capacity from these hives. From the other side, it for the most part looks like a megalith spam. And we see power generators. See the A on I, the optics facility. Every team should have one. Now once again we got a dangerous situation, but enough units to create more mass to reclaim. Yet another mega is coming for its death. Really good Ravager spam from King Damien. These fat boys have been very good as well. And the megalith will retreat. Good use of shields. Funny, we do not see any T3 mobile shields from Seraphim. Really the best shields to use with the experimentals. And now we're seeing 3 megaliths. Some fatties, some GCs. See, we do not see any more chickens. That is not surprising. So even in a T1 game, Thermo quickly escalates into an experimental fight. You can imagine how crazy this gets with X2. Now 3 megaliths coming in. See a whole bunch of fatties and Ravagers. We are experiencing just a little bit of lag here. A lot of experimentals going at it. We should slow it down a little bit. And right here there's so much mass. And Dom's team should probably know that they cannot allow all this mass to just be gifted for free. So they need to keep megaliths and fatties in range of the NGs trying to steal this mass. And now we see some rovers, some drones coming in to claim this mass from Werner Valhall. This is sometimes a rule not to do this, but I guess in this game it is not a rule.
These can be considered overpowering in games with no air, but you can see how quickly they steal this mass. So Werner really getting quite a bit of mass for himself here. And now we see drones from the other team as well. So one problem that begins happening is it's very hard to get experimentals to get through. They start bumping into other units. It's kind of annoying for people leaving spider bots just laying around, and really things like T2 power generators, they really block the way. Want to minimize what you put in the middle, maximize the flow of experimentals. We have not seen any artillery in this game. Perhaps it is not allowed. This will be all experimental. And now we see actually beginnings of a Paragon that is abandoned. And now we do see some arties. So they are allowed, but 43 minutes, that is very late for arty. And this is the wrong choice of arty. This is the Seraphim arty. Aeon is by far the best because it has the best accuracy, and accuracy, especially with you shooting with multiple arties, trying to focus on a target is really the most important thing for artillery. Cybern is the worst, UEF is second best, and Seraphim is second worst. See if this team, and of course for shields, the Seraphim shields are the best. UEF are also pretty good, but when you have a choice, Seraphim is always the best. Cybern here should not be really used if you have the choice. Now this here just doesn't make any sense. Of course, Turbo Turtle is first place. I probably shouldn't be questioning his judgment. Now we see Dome doing everything right, except making this arty. We got T3 shields, a lot of adjacency taking place, but you would really need quite a few more shields to counteract arties. The first arty will begin firing at 46 minutes, and the second one is already beginning to get built. They should get a response from the other team. Curious to see what the target is. Looks like it is the other arty from King Damien. Be nice to kill all this all these drones here. Maybe hit this, but a lot of UEF shields in this area will be very hard to break. Scathis is a very bad choice for an arty fight. Is a very poor accuracy for the price. You should build a salvation instead, and actually the arty gets through, so a couple more shields in this area would be very useful for Turtle or for King Damien. Some mobile shields should also be built. Seraphim mobile shields, always useful. This is just a single arty, already has 2 kills. And now more shields will be built. So Seraphim, there should always be a Seraphim NG in everybody's team. T2 Seraphim is fine. You can upgrade from T2 to T3 shields. That is true for all factions except Aeon. And now we have a big traffic jam. A lot of megaliths and fatties. If you can combine these together with some arty. Of course, here we see a nice team of GCs. GCs and fatties really the only units you need. One thing to note is that King Damien is building everything from his ACU. Sometimes it's good to have multiple teams. Some T3 NGs should have their own groups of drones. And now we have a massive fight once again. Looks like these fatties are going to be getting taken out. Some megas get a little too close. And really anything that gets in range of these GCs will die quite quickly. And this is going to be a very nice mass gift from Dome. If it isn't successful, at least knocking down some of these shields so the Arty can take out at least some of the economy. And now the GCs come out. That's going to be devastating for this attacking army. You can pack a lot of GCs in a small area and a lot of damage per second from these units. So the choice was made to push forward and not allow the megas to shoot at the base. Could be better perhaps to keep these GCs under the shields for a little more health, but went safe in this case. And now we see a dead chicken. It's going to cause a lot of damage. Some fatties should come in and start cleaning up on the other fat boys here, and the megas could move up a little bit, take out the mega. See a nice force of bricks here from Robodani, which are doing absolutely nothing except blocking his allies' units. Now if we look at Dome, he's got 2 Arties. It looks like they're both focused here at King Damien's Arty. This Scathis right here is in a very bad spot. A lot of really weak Cybern shields, really, with 2 Arties. Dome can take it out at any moment. He will not take it out at this point. He'll let it be wasted in terms of resources. Let Samson build it up to about 90% and take it out. And now we see Arty, or Duke, is finished for King Damien, so he can start replying. This is actually not a very bad target here. Packing a lot of Arty very close together does not allow for packing a lot of shields around these Arties. It's always nice to spread the Arty. And now we see a Cybern Arty, a very bad Arty. And here's the Aeon Arty, a very good one. So perhaps here this is the best target for King Damien. A few of these power generators and mass cyber carriers would explode, causing a lot of damage, knocking down shields. It's not clear if that's what his target is. Looks like his target is somewhere in the middle. That does not make any sense. And a Mavor actually being built in the middle. It's a very strange position. Usually this is a unit that you'd want to protect the most. Now we see a nice shield spam from King Damien. Looks like he'll build enough shields to protect this Scathis, and actually will help the Scathis to be built. So it was a dangerous thing to do, to put your drones on some project that big. Usually if you have the mass for it, your power just surges and all your shields drop, and then you get shot. You see 3 Arties from Dome, an Arty from Red here from Robodani that's almost finished, and an Arty that's finished from Coco. So 5 Arties will be firing very shortly, and if they focus they can take out most targets in this area. Perhaps only in this area. It's quite a bit, actually quite a few shields on this team throughout. Good use of shields, except the Cybern shields here. So really Damien could build another row of shields that really help Samson out. And this is really not clear here. This would be such a great target for a single shell. Now we see some shield spam. Really an opportunity wasted here. A few shells in this area and then shells here. And now all these T3 Seraphim shells will take that opportunity away. See a pretty big group, 10 GCs are moving forward, followed by a whole bunch of fatties. Really a perfect combination. But we see a good use of a T3 Seraphim shields. Provide a lot of health from these megas. This will actually be a very close fight if the GCs keep on moving forward. The megas do have the range on them. And actually these GCs were very successful in moving through this megalith's force. Good micro with the fatties trailing. Really no answer here for the top team. They gotta start spamming a lot of megas. This is what they're doing. And of course this halfway done Maverick might suffer a very bad fate. Now these fatties bumping into each other. We really need them as far up as possible. We see Artie actually being used against the fatties, T3 Artie. And now the Maverick gets taken out. That's a lot of resources lost. And one GC with pretty much full health and two at half. Marching in, they're gonna walk into a mega. Amazing that the Scathus still has not been taken out. These Cybern shields should have never been built. The GCs are moving straight through. They should not be stopping for anything. If this is successful, it is not. Well, just hit a veterancy for 50 kills. This power generator should have been destroyed. It would have caused a pretty big explosion. So Dom dodged a pretty big bullet here. The fatties keep on walking. This dead chicken is going to provide some time for the top team. The turtle is going to have to wait and retreat. And fatties just standing around is going to be a good target for T3 Artie. And now we actually see a Scathus that's been completed. It's going to start firing. That's going to do a lot of damage all over the place for the top side. See, he's got 7 kills already. You can see a lot of stuff falling. Not in a single spot, but you see the shells falling. Now we see these fatties are going to have to retreat. This passage is full of dead experimentals. Not clear where there are a bunch of Percys running around. And now the drones are coming out for Werner and Robo. Need a lot more protection for the Scathis. It's the primary target for the other team. The Scathis itself isn't doing too much damage except for Werner, who has absolutely no shields. Not clear why Werner is the target. Really inexcusable for this to be still alive. We'll see a nice shield spam from King Damien here. A few mobile shields around this would be very useful. And actually we see, well, some shells fell close to these T3 arties, but haven't knocked down the shields. It appears that Werner's base has taken the worst of the Scathis. See shields being sent to their death against this chicken. And a lot of shells flying back and forth. Amazing these are still alive with all these shells flying around. Just shoot one there just for fun. Now the Scathis might be getting taken out very soon. I'd be willing to bet if these were all A on Artie, they'd have enough focus to take that out. And now you can see the Scathis is a lot of shots, but you can see they're actually at a very high arch. They're all falling on Werner. Probably being aimed at Werner, but falling on Robo instead. So for price of a Scathis, you could have made a Mavor instead, and this game would be nearly over. Or even build something like 3 or 4 regular T3 Artie. The Scathis could be getting killed very soon here. That's been a situation for a while. Now it's at 260 kills. Quite a good weapon. And Robo Danny's base getting quite a bit of shelling. Really, the Arties should be the target, so we could see a bunch of Arties from Coco here. So be another good target. Really, here's where most of the Arties are sitting. This makes no sense that this is still alive. And now the correct target is hit. A lot of Dome's units are taken out. Should be capitalized upon. Continue killing units in this direction. These will explode and cause damage to the shields. Now it appears that the mass extractors are the targets. Perhaps not the best targets, since there's so much mass just laying around everywhere. .304 kills for the Scathis now. Now Dome is probably going to make another row of shields. Few chickens waiting to go in, but no reason to. You can see all these mobile shields should be over the Scathis. Now even more damage caused by the Scathis against the Arty. A bad situation for a Dome. We see a few Cybern T3 Arty. Again, the wrong choice. These ones right here, focused. Actually, if a single player controlled all the Arty on this team and just focus it, that is all that is required. And now we can see the mobile shields. Actually, now the Scathis has been taken out. That is pretty tragic for the right side here. It caused quite a bit of damage. It is still a nice chunk of mass. It could be rebuilt. And it looks like it is 64% rebuilt underneath some better shields. However, now this is the target for all the Arty. Need a lot more shields, and this is what Turbo Turtle is doing. And now Scathis is taken out once again. Not clear what happens next. In terms of attacking options, definitely the top side here has many more Arty. But a lot of shields for this bottom team, and a lot of chunks of mass if it's used properly. But a power surge, looks like there was a power surge. This could be the beginning of the end. Really, Seraphim shields instead of UEF would have made a pretty big difference. And now it appears King Damien's ACU is the target. Nothing to worry about for the top side here. Absolutely no Arty left. The Duke was taken out. Turtle picks up the remnants of the Scathis. He's going to start making some T3 Arty. And another big loss. Big loss of units. I want to see something hit these. Been waiting for this for like the last 30 minutes. A really big waste of space. Right here, these Arty, 4 Arty in this area. They're really the main force. Now we see the GCs protected by a lot of Aeon shields, pushing up against the fatties. A single chicken will be sacrificed, and after death it will cause a lot of damage. And another chicken. Good use of chicken for defense. Those shells just flew off the screen. These GCs won't be able to do much. Looks like Samson's ACU is the target. Spiderbot is not going to be the answer. See some shots hitting the shields protecting this mess over here. That was a lot of shells just hit right above Samson. As you're going to run underneath some shields, hide by King Damien. And ACU from Jur decides to call it good. Just gonna run and take one from the chicken. Of course, we do have the expected excuses. Really well played by Samson. And also gets taken out by some arty. Damien's got his shields, got to run away from this dying chicken, however. And it looks like Turtle is going to be the last player. He will be targeted. And I will not get to see these explode. So that is it. Minute 20, an hour 20 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed.